that is predominantly European.
Okay.
Also, they have only the NCMA, ISM, IA, CCM, and PMI have professional certification programs.
Okay.
In those programs, you can be recognized as a certified professional contract management. You have a 3-module multiple choice certification exam. There's that one, and then there are 2 other ones, which is certified commercial contract manager. You only need to complete 2 of the modules for that one, and also for certified federal contract managers, you have certification.
What about the responsibilities for each in the contract process?
In reference to that, each project manager is typically responsible for the overall, as a multifunctional team leader, as far as achieving the results. The contract manager is, in essence, support. However, the project manager usually lacks the authority to sign or modify any contracts. That falls on the contract manager. And the contract manager is not in charge of day-to-day process, day-to-day operations. But they have the authority to sign, authorize any contract rule changes.
Okay. When would they support the PM during the day-to-day operations? For example, of that.
What would they support them?
Yeah, what's the example? You said that they would support the project managers in the implementation of the project. What's an example where they would support the PM?
It would support them in reference to the purchasing or decisions as far as what should be purchased, what changes need to be made to a contract.
Okay, that's where I was looking for. Okay. So if there are changes to the contract.
Correct. And that will be their supporting role.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay. Very good.
Didn't you have there was a visual something?
Yeah, there was a visual. I can't remember.
That's what it showed like when.
Yeah, there was a visual there. I'm not sure if you have it there, Terence, or not, but it showed, basically it broke it down into, you've got 3 phases, right?
Startup, performance,
1, 2, 3. This
I think
is the
we
sales
have
phase.
the
Sales phase, contract, and then implementation phase of the project, right? And then the roles of the PM and the contract manager and the sales manager as well. Everybody have that slide?
You know what, page 37, I think.
Let me see that. Yes, exactly. Page 37 is the slide. So page 37 spells out visually what Terence basically went over. So it's got the sales manager there as well. So that's one thing I want to add, Terence. So let's make sure the sales manager is called out as well. They're part of the responsibilities. So the sales manager, the contract, and the project manager, what their roles are during those 3 phases. Okay. And then, yeah, the main thing here is where would the contract manager help the PM during the day-to-day business if there are changes to the contract, potential changes.
Are they involved in the negotiation process too? Contract manager?
They would, yes. Yeah, look at that in that slide. The PM often is brought in as well. Why is the PM often brought in during the negotiating process, the sales process, is to make sure that what is being sold and negotiated is actually feasible to do, right? In the time frame.
And I assume you also want him to come in because he's going to be taking the role of implementing the contract.
Right. He or she will be the PM, so they need to get a just a good grasp of the to be finalized project. Yeah. But again, sales usually, and it's here intentionally, sales, you know, if you want to give ownership to these three phases, right, on page 37, the sales manager owns phase 1 typically, right? The contract manager owns phase 2, and then the project manager owns phase 3. But that doesn't mean that the other two don't help, vice versa, right?
The slide's also in week 1, slide 25.
Thank you. I couldn't remember what week number 2. Okay.
Was that again?
Week 1,
slide.
the slide, but
Number 25.
but it's a slide from page 37 of your text. It's the same slide. All right. Very good job. Let's move on to contract pricing. Nick. Summary.
Well, that's chapter 8.
Chapter 8. Okay.
You want me to? There's a lot of stuff in here, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into the nuts and bolts, but if you give a good overview and summary,
I mean,
you know, of maybe the types of contract pricing, you know, maybe when you should use one type versus another, something like that. And I know it could be in great detail. Chapter 8, we gave a handout of it as well, I think in week 3, I believe. So,
well, there was quite a few tables that we thought were really good, so let's just start with those.
Sure.
On page 108, table 3, it breaks down contract categories and types. So it'll break down your firm fixed price, your fixed price with economic price adjustment, and your fixed price incentive. And it goes in to describe those very well. They talked about cost reimbursement category, the cost contracts, the cost sharing contracts, cost plus a percentage, cost plus fixed fee contracts. They talked about the classification of incentives. For contract incentives, figure 11, page 115 is really nice. And then they talked about incentives based on schedule or delivery, on quality, performance. They went into subjective incentives, talking about award fee plans. Other incentive contracts were cost plus incentive fee contracts, fixed price incentives, cost plus award fee contracts. Page 127, they break down the range of contract types and risks. They talked about time and material. They broke down and they said that time and material and fixed cost price were probably the two that you normally find in normal business.
What about, very good job of outlining the types and so forth. And again, incentives here, you know, are used to be an add-on, right? If needed to an existing contract price. Why would you want to use incentives?
You may have to try and have something happen. Like, say your schedule says, you know, it's not going to be done until October. Well, you know, we need it done in September, so we might throw some incentives to try and get it done faster.
Right. So you have, you know, plus and minus here, meaning, you know, you can have incentives as well as what?
Penalties.
This is the proper word, decentives, right? Or punishments, or whatever you want to call it, what's the opposite, right? Where if you meet the schedule, ahead of schedule, we'll throw you an extra bone here. If you miss it by such and such, then you pay us more. So it can go both ways, right? So that's why I want to make sure it's a two-way street.
From 128 to 131, there's a table. It's called Table 4, and it goes advantages and disadvantages of all the various contracts. It's a really, it explains everything pretty detailed.
It's also the week 4 PowerPoint.
Thank you.
I know we talked about that. Very good. And again, well, one other comment, but you good.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so vague, we weren't really sure where to hone in
No,
on the
this-
thing, so we
this
just
is
kind
good.
of,
Yeah. The other takeaway that I would say is any